There's no long intro. I'll just start it.
Other emails. We've had a lot of questions about time travel. People are fascinated about your approach to time travel. And I know we've talked about this in the past, but this is a very specific time travel question. If you had a time machine, Carl, to what event in your childhood would you travel back to and why?
What's the point in going back to things that you thought? No, it's just that it's never as good, is it? It's like a place you go on holiday and you go back thinking it'll be as good as the first time. It never is. So I don't believe in going back to places.
What do you understand the question as? Do you think they're asking, would you go back like a ghost and spy? Would you go back and you've got your childhood back? You are that child again. You're in the body. You are the child. Or you've got your adult head and experiences on. You know,
Rick, I really don't think Carl was thinking there was any of those.
It's left up to interpretation, really.
I think he was thinking of him as he is now in school with a cap on.
yeah. Too big for the chairs. yeah. Come on.
No, I don't think I would go back. It's all happened now, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's an email for our own amusement.
Well, okay.
Choose an event. Okay, forget the time travel thing.
No, hang on. I think let's clarify one of Ricky's points. What if you could go back and you could live that moment again? How would you do it differently?
There's been times where I've gone, oh, that was a bit out of order or whatever. But then you learn from your mistakes, don't you? So I don't want to go back and change stuff because it's like that thing that they go on about, isn't it, where they blame the butterfly on an earthquake. You know, it's going to happen. If it wasn't that butterfly, it's another one. So why pass the buck, is what I'm saying.
So you've got no regrets. There's nothing in your past you'd want to change or do differently?
What about if you went back and you spied like a ghost on something? You couldn't change anything, but you could have a look at someone and just sort of look like you know, like Ebenezer Scrooge does with the Ghost of Christmas Past. He goes back and he's sort of like looking at himself dancing and stuff. What would you do? What would you go back and have a look at?
Yeah, but you're asking me to change. I don't want to change.
You're not changing, you're just observing.
It's impossible.
All right,
this question, it's not going to happen.
They're so mean to him.
It's impossible.
Right, yeah, I nearly died once, didn't I? On an ice pop.
Right.
Right. Now, maybe if I would have died, I'd say, well, let's go back to that, and I won't have an ice pop.
You wouldn't be doing the podcast if you'd have died. You wouldn't be having this email put to you. What are you
That's absurd.
about?
You're now saying you're rewriting history and then going back to change it.
Yeah.
There's no need. You didn't die.
And we've changed it. You can't change anything. You're just going to go back and watch them. Would you like to go back and watch yourself choking on a Mr. Freeze?
No, that's what I'm saying. That's why I wouldn't go back now, because I'm all right. I haven't had one since. I've learnt a lesson. I'm not missing them ice pops. So
I don't think you're making the most of this opportunity to fantasise.
I don't see the point in going back in anything. I mean, do you mean go back in time to the point of you can see, like, Rome in its working day?
What, in your childhood? Was Rome about when in your childhood? Were there gladiators in your childhood?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Everything I've been through, so why see it again?
Forget it. It was just a nice little question.
I mean, that shows the lack of imagination in Karl Pilkington. Your mind can't fathom something unless it's, like, you know, got two heads.
But I don't see the point in doing something twice. Because the thing is, say if there's one good moment when I was about 6 that I loved, I'd then have to go through all the other 20 years. Again.
Well, why? Why have you imposed that? It's a fantasy. Make it up.
You could go back and come back again.
Yeah, whiz back and fast forward 35 years.
Nah.
Brilliant. No. Like it was on offer. Like this was really on offer. Move on.
Carl is inadvertently philosophical. And honestly, in this one, I couldn't have agreed with him more. I regret so many things. And when I can't sleep at night, I think about embarrassing things I did in 2016. Embarrassing things I did 2 weeks ago. But I wouldn't go back to change any of them because then I would risk not being here. And I like where I am. Nor would I be interested to go back and observe a past event as per Ricky's idea. So if I was posed this question, I would probably answer the same. Nah. Let me know if you could go back in time, would you change something? But this whole conversation had me thinking about the grandfather paradox, which is a scenario that asks the question, if you were to go back in time and accidentally kill your grandfather, therefore your parent wouldn't be born, where would that leave you? And which other chain of future events would that alter, as your grandmother would now marry another man or have a different kid or not marry at all and move to Paris? Lots of options in the realm of possibility there. And don't get hung up on the kill your grandfather part. It's a complete hypothetical, so it's not meant to be taken literally. But if you want, you can think about it as kill off your grandfather's storyline as it pertains to your grandmother. So, for example, you go back in time, you knock on your great-granddad's door, he opens it, he's shocked at the state of you. He doesn't know what to make of you. He's so shocked that when your granddad comes down the stairs on his way out to school, your great-grandfather forgets to tell him to pick up a jug of milk before he comes home tonight. Now, it seems innocuous, but it's actually May 13th, 1939, and that's the day that your grandpa and your grandma are set to meet. Unbeknownst to them, of course. So now when your grandma goes to the corner store to buy some orange juice, she strikes up a conversation with the checkout boy. And your grandfather isn't there to pick up her wallet that she dropped and later ask her to the diner after he fell in love at first sight or whatever. Your grandma finds a newfound interest in the checkout boy and boom, your mom was never born. Or any other similar scenario. So essentially, you just messed up the sequence of events that led to your own birth. You can let me know what you think about that. But as for a literary recommendation, there's a book that touches on the grandfather paradox, and that's Rant by Chuck Palahniuk. And I've definitely recommended Chuck Palahniuk on the channel before. He's actually an author that I couldn't recommend enough. Whenever I close his books, I think, what type of mind even thinks about that? And that's the type of book I like. So, if you've already read it, let me know what you think. And as far as these Karl Pilkington shorts, I'm completely aware that they are part of longer episodes, but I don't think I'd want to sit and record a 3-hour-long episode here. I do like to have it on in the background. Yesterday, I actually stopped an audiobook that I was listening to hear 3 hours of the podcast, and I haven't laughed like that in a while. So you'll find it in the show notes, and let me know what you think about any of this. That's all I've got for you. So thanks for watching with me.